It's officially 2024, and what I love about a new year is that it signifies a fresh start. You have the chance to try to make this upcoming year better than the last one. In this video, I hope to inspire and motivate you as I share my goals for 2024 in the areas of personal, relationships, homeschool, etc. So keep watching. Hey guys, it's Bonnie from Mrs. Mom's Homeschool and welcome to my channel. It's been a while since I've been on here and been consistent with creating content for you guys. It's been a pretty rough year for me, especially at the end of this year. I say from October all the way through like now. And I am ready for a new year. I am ready to start fresh with some new goals. It just gives me that sense of wanting to strive to do better and just have like a better year for myself and for my family. And I know it's just another date, and in reality, it's just another day. But there's something about having that start date where you can go back and track your progress or see if you were able to complete any goals that you have set for yourself. And with the majority of the world doing the same thing and having kind of like a similar mindset around this time of year, makes you feel more connected, like you're not so alone in accomplishing and trying to accomplish goals. So I know sometimes people like to use a word for the year. So if I were to choose a word for the year, I think it would be consistency. And like my first three goals have to do with being consistent. So I am not a very consistent person, and I just kind of go with how I feel for the day. But my first goal is to be consistent in our homeschooling because we have fallen so far behind and, to my standards. And I do like to finish our curriculum. I do have children that are college bound. I do want to make sure that they're on level for where they're supposed to be able to go any way they want after they graduate. I want to prepare them in case they do end up going to university or whatever their career paths may be in the future, that I have prepared them enough that they won't have a hard time getting there. But in order to do that, I have to be consistent every day with our schooling. I allow them to manipulate me and say, like, oh, I have a headache or my stomach hurts. I just fall for everything. And then we end up not doing school that day, and then they're fine playing games later. So I really need to be more consistent, and then I know that they will follow suit and stop trying to use all the excuses. I also, second goal is to be consistent here on this YouTube platform. I miss making videos for you guys so much, but with the inconsistency and the lack of motivation, I really haven't had much to share. Like nothing like positive anyway, but I really hope to produce 3 videos a week for you guys and to stay on here a lot. And because making videos for you guys also motivates me to do things for my kids and for my family, because it's kind of like you guys are holding me accountable, trying to find that content for you, right? And then at the same time, I'm motivating you guys, so we're kind of helping each other out here. I also need to be consistent in my parenting and our routines and the structure and everything. I kind of let everything go when I was in my funk, and now it's time to bring back all the routines, all of the structure, and all of that good stuff that makes life go smoothly. My fourth goal is to make the homeschool year enjoyable while also staying on track. So I just have to get my kids into the habit that if we have a field trip or a co-op outing, that there's still a certain amount of work that we have to do in the morning before we leave or in the afternoon when we get back home. And I think that'll help them to appreciate their breaks and their time off more. But it also gives them a sense that school is important. What I find between homeschool kids, a lot of the times, and kids who go to public schools, is that sometimes homeschool kids don't take their education as seriously because they're not waking up to go there every day. They're not having grades or tests or people, report cards being sent home and phone calls and all that. But I want my kids to know that their education is still important for their future by having them prioritize that above all the fun activities that we're going to do. The kids are getting older, right? I have a 16-year-old. I don't homeschool her anymore. And I have my son's about to be 13, and they're spending more and more time with their friends. My daughter always has a friend over. My son usually plays online with his friends from our homeschool co-op every evening for a few hours every single night. So I'm getting less and less time with him. And then my daughter and I, my 8-year-old, we're always together. But I really want, like, during our homeschool time, even though it's maybe not doing stuff that my son wants to be doing, I want to make sure to make the whole day of homeschooling more enjoyable, if that's going to be the majority of time that I get to spend with him. and I want to make sure that my 8-year-old is still having a very fun experience, being that she's still very young. I want to do this by going on more field trips together, by having more fun hands-on activities and incorporating my son and not just doing it for my daughter, but allowing him to come and join us when we're doing our hands-on activities and not just make him sit and do his serious work. I want to take breaks. I have a whole new schedule that I made a video on, but we have yet to implement it, where we're going to be taking bike rides or walks in between our school days for a little break, or going out and playing together on the trampoline, or maybe throwing a frisbee around in the front, or football or something. I just want to incorporate that into the homeschool day, because once our day is over, and I usually end it around 3 o'clock, 3 or 4 o'clock, it's time for dinner, evening, like everybody just scatters, and it's just, I don't get to like see them much the rest of the day, and it starts to get busy in another way after that for me, with the dinner and the bedtime routines and all that stuff. So I really want to incorporate as much fun and togetherness during our homeschooling hours as I can. My next goal is to be more intentional with setting up some social activities for the kids, especially for my son. I want to make sure that I'm inviting his friends over more often, and that I'm planning with their friends' families to do outings on the weekends, and just getting more involved in him having time with friends, because he's at that age where friendships are going to become developmentally more important to him. So I want to make sure that I'm very hands-on with doing that for him, and also for my daughter, just making sure that she has lots of play dates and friends coming over, and us just doing a lot of stuff together with other children and families. I think life is a lot more enjoyable, a lot more fun when you do things with friends, especially since their age gap is starting to show now, and they are not going to be hanging out as much as they used to. I want to make sure that they are able to have kids that they enjoy spending time with around more often. With that being said, I also want to make sure that I have one-on-one dates with each kid, especially with my 16-year-old daughter, who I don't get to spend much time with. I want to make sure I make intentional dates and separate time with her and with the other kids, so that we can have that quality time and those memories together, even if it's like, one child per month, like alternating months, so then every 3 months a kid would get a date with me or something like that, but at least we have, it's better than nothing than what it is right now. Routines, we need to get back to our routines. Our sleeping schedule and wake up routine is as if we are on summer break. It is ridiculous right now, because we were sick for like almost the entire month of December. So that threw everything off. So, and like, it's been rough. So I really need to get back into a wake up routine, an evening routine. I've created a bedtime routine for each of my kids, which I'm going to make a video on my big kids' bedtime routines. I want to spend one-on-one time with each of them before they go to bed, and just have some consistency with that. Also bringing back the charts and the checklists and the chore charts and all that good stuff. My next goal is really important, and that is keeping a positive mindset, controlling my thoughts, not envying other people's circumstances or situations, not expecting people in my own life to be a certain way, not wanting more than I have, not comparing myself or my family to others, making sure that I am happy and that I am grateful, full of gratitude, and that I keep my thoughts away from anything negative that I have been through, and just keeping it focused on the Lord, and keeping my hope in Him and my trust in Him, and focusing on now and being more present. And that carries on to your words. I want to guard my tongue and watch what I say, and make sure I don't say anything negative. I want to always speak life. And I really want that to be a big part of who I am and who I'm becoming this upcoming new year. I don't want to have any negativity in me at all, no mood swings, none of that stuff. I really am working on just becoming a better me, and for my kids and for my husband and for my friends and just for everybody, but mostly for myself, so that I can feel happier. I also want to improve my prayer life. It's so important to have a good prayer life, to be consistent, to be having a heart of faith and trusting that the Lord is going to take care of those things that we can't take care of, doing our best in the situations that we can, but as also praying about those things, but praying about things that we have no control over, and just developing a good prayer life for the people in my life, for myself, for my family, for my friends, and just keeping a prayer journal to see all the answered prayers that are going to be answered, and just being consistent with that prayer and with the gratitude of what God is going to do in our lives out of faith. And last but definitely not least is making sure that I take care of myself this year. That means getting my hair done routinely. I have a lot of wisdom hairs coming in that need to go. Nobody needs to know how old I am. I want to make sure that I'm shopping for myself. I don't go shopping for myself ever. Like, I want to make sure that I'm treating myself every so often to a new outfit or something for the house, just something that I deserve to be treated as well. And all of my money goes to my kids, all of it, right? So we deserve a little bit of pampering as well. I'm not saying I'm gonna buy, designer bags and things like that, but just little things here and there for me to treat myself because I deserve it. And you all do too. Making sure that I'm taking care of my mental health by having a good morning routine, a good evening routine that comes in with the thoughts and the self-talk and reading good books and doing my miracle morning routine that I'll link the video in the card above and below where I show you my miracle morning routine that I was doing in the past that I want to get back into because it really is a great morning routine where you incorporate exercise and reading and journaling and like a whole list of different things into your morning that takes about an hour. I want to make sure that I'm just taking care of nurturing myself before I start our homeschool day and making sure that I get outside every day, whether it's for a walk or a bike ride. I just need that fresh air, that sunlight. I just really need it. If you want to see more homeschool type goals, make sure to check out the video on the side that says homeschool goals. And I just want to thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you can relate to any of these goals and what are some goals of your own. So thank you guys for watching and Happy New Year.